And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second installment of Teep Talk. I'm your host, Wes, with my co-host,
Russ.
And we will be going over our picks for the main card of UFC 314. We've got it all written down. I'm using him for my information today. Russ, what do we have?
Well, let's start out with, obviously, these are the main cards only, so no prelims, no early prelims.
Starting with Bryce Mitchell.
Well, no.
With the guy before Bryce
We're going to start with the guys before Bryce Mitchell. So we got, now I might botch these names, so bear with me. Nikita, I might just say his first name, Nikita Krylov, right? He's 30-9, right? 30 wins, 9 losses. Won his last 2 fights, submission and unanimous decision. Okay? Dominic Reyes. Now, if you don't know who Dominic Reyes is, he's the guy that fought John Jones, and there was a big controversy that he actually won the fight instead of John.
John Jones is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the whole wide world.
Dominic's 14-4. He won his last 2 fights against Anthony Smith and a guy named Jacoby by
knockout TKO.
Yes. The odds for that is Dominic's odds is plus 145 and Nikita is negative 175.
And who are you going to go with? Because I'm going to say...
I love
Nikita.
Dominic.
I'm saying Nikita.
I'm going to say Dominic.
I'm saying Nikita, and here's why. If he's got his last 2 wins by what, submission?
His last 2 wins was submission and unanimous decision.
I think that's going to get it, because here lately it's all just been wrestling that's getting stuff, and I don't know. Because all of my other picks are underdogs. There's got to be one that's a regular that's not. So
right.
I'm taking Nikita.
I'm gonna go with Dominic just because I like Dominic. I think he's great. He's awesome.
What's our next fight?
Our next fight.
Wait, can I announce our next fight?
Do you want to announce?
I want to announce the next.
He's gonna announce the next fight.
He's my favorite fighter in the whole wide world, in the entire UFC. Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. Whew! Bryce Mitchell will beat Gene Silva. 17-3 with Bryce Mitchell. That's his record. Won his last by TKO. And then before that, he lost to Josh Emmett by KO, right? And then there's Gene Silva, 15-2. 15-2.
Yeah, what it says.
That's what it said. He's 11-0 in the UFC, is what it is.
Yeah, we're just going off.
Yeah.
I'm going off. It says UFC record, but we're just going off.
One last 2. Is KO on both of them?
Yep. Knockout TKO.
Knockout
against
TKO
a guy named Dauber and Milski.
Listen. The betting odds for this, if you were to put $400 on Bryce Mitchell to win, you would win 1,000 on DraftKings. Well, as of a week or so ago, I think the odds have went down.
Yeah, and Bryce Mitchell is plus
205,
and Gene Silva is negative 250.
Gene Silva is a good knockout artist. He's a good fighter. He's great and everything.
It's a little worrying.
A little bit worrying, and it doesn't worry me, and here's why. Gene Silva has not fought the caliber of fighter yet that is Bryce Mitchell. And what does Bryce Mitchell also have on his side? Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that's why he's going to win. I'm going completely by faith on this. I want Bryce Mitchell to win because I love Bryce Mitchell. He speaks the truth, and he's real. And he's Bryce Mitchell. Maybe I'm betting with my heart.
Do you have, which we don't know, but we're gonna figure that. Do you have a method of victory?
I'm gonna TKO.
TKO?
I want to say Bryce Mitchell by TKO.
Can you imagine?
And that does sound insane. And I know everybody's gonna say, "Well, what about submission? Maybe it's good." No, if it goes to decision, then the powers that be, let's say those people that run Vegas, they're going to say, hey, if it goes to decision, give it to Gene Silva because we don't need, somebody like. What is that?
Ooh, what's that? We saw a like bubble.
Wow.
Don't know if that means. What is that?
Wait. Is it?
Oh, that's pretty
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
whoa!
Yeah.
Fireworks going off for Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, fireworks for Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, so we're trying to distract us from more time.
Not expecting that at all.
We're doing this on StreamYard, so
Yeah.
I don't know all the ins and outs of StreamYard. We're very new to this. But anyways, so Bryce Mitchell by TKO, because Bryce Mitchell knows he needs to get to TKO. I think he's going to mount this guy and start beating him to death.
I am going with Bryce Mitchell too.
Do you say TKO or submission?
It would be pretty cool for a submission. Imagine if he got the twister.
What if he got his second twister?
That would be epic. That's a big payout.
There's only
now it's very rare, but if he did that, that's a big payout.
Wait, what do you mean?
That has to be a big payout. Think about it.
Is there betting odds on it?
Let's look it up.
Twister? I didn't know.
I don't know. You can't do that.
I don't think you could bet on what kind of.
No,
submission.
you can't. But if you could,
yeah,
I bet that should be big.
Either submission or TKO. I don't know, but I'm gonna say TKO, just like he did with Kron Gracie. I think he's gonna do the same thing with Gene Silva. Mark my words. TKO, Bryce Mitchell. In the end, we win. Yeah, It's like some David and Goliath stuff. You know, David killed Goliath because Goliath insulted the Lord. That's what happened. That's what Gene Silva's doing, and that's what Bryce Mitchell's coming to do to him. And that's just my beliefs. And anybody that believes differently than me is wrong. Point blank, period.
So
no matter what it is.
If you decided, what'd you say, $400? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
If you bet $400, and this is just method of victory, if you bet $400 on win by submission, Bryce Mitchell, guess how much you get? Guess how much you get?
How much?
$3,000. That is how much you get. 3,000 big ones is how much you would get.
And that is a
method of victory.
You got to minus the $400. So that's $3,600 profit because that adds in the $400.
Yeah, there you go. You have that.
Yeah.
Now you know what's funny. Just to go off of this,
you
ready for this? If you bet Bryce Mitchell to win by knockout, TKO, DQ, guess what? $400, right? You get $6,000. If it's the method of victory.
Not everybody has $400 to put down on that. Well, I'm not. Don't take gambling advice from someone who isn't a gajillionaire. Okay? But do take the gambling advice from me because that's what the show's about. But if you got that kind of money, you can. I'm just saying $400 gets you $1,000. I'm just making an assumption. What's $50 get you for the?
Dang, you know, for a draw, if you put $400 on, you get $20,000.
Yeah, it's not going to be a draw.
No, that'd be epic.
What's $50 for the TKO?
$50?
TKO, DQ, yeah.
Let's look it up here. So if you put $50 for a TKO knockout / DQ for Bryce Mitchell, it says Bryce Mitchell to win by knockout, TKO, DQ, method of victory, you get $750.
$750. So,
you can get $750.
Yeah, I mean that's find somebody to get one of those fancy.
Hell, we'll even go to the submission. $50, $375.
Yeah. The submission's more likely because he's a jiu-jitsu guy.
That's right.
Bryce Mitchell all the way. Take out a loan on Mama's house. Okay? Put that on there. Put it on Bryce. Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell is going to get it done against Gene Silva.
And we're apparently calling for a knockout TKO.
Knockout TKO.
Let's hope.
Who is next on the card?
Next on the card. We're going next right now.
Yeah.
Well, these are people that we don't know. One guy's name is Yair Rodriguez. Might be botching it. And Patricio Pitbull.
Yep.
Now Yair is 20-6.
Oof.
He lost his last 2 fights against Brian Ortega by submission, and against the main card guy Alexander by TKO knockout / TKO. The Pitbull 36-7. Don't know. It wouldn't give me the information for some reason. So we don't know right now.
I think Pitbull's new or something.
But I'm going with Pitbull.
I'm going with him too.
Yeah.
I think that he's definitely going to get it done if we can hurt a whole lot of this guy. The last guy in his last fight, he lost by knockout, or one of his last fights.
His last fight. So Yair lost by submission his last fight, and then also the fight before that lost to KO TKO.
I'm going to say Pitbull by decision.
Yep. I can. You know what?
Because Yair Ramirez, he's gonna. I think he's learned. He's putting enough into his tool belt and whatnot to not get knocked out or submitted. But he's not gonna stand with Pitbull. I don't think that's gonna be. I think Pitbull by submission.
Okay.
Or
Now,
just Pitbull money line.
Now, let's go to the co-main card now.
Co-main event.
Now, the co-main event, right?
Oh yeah.
You ready for this? So, Michael Chandler versus who?
What? Paddy the body Pimblett, you can't knock out a Scoza. Wait,
So,
let's give Pimblett some thumbs up. No.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Fireworks.
Give us the fireworks.
Give us some fireworks.
Give us the fireworks. Anyways,
you know what? We got a like. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we got.
Trying to see if it certain angles.
Yeah. Anyway, so
look, Michael Chandler.
I want to hear your opinion on it, and then I'll give you mine.
Michael Chandler, 23-9, right?
23-9, yes.
Lost his last two, which we saw one, Charles Oliveira.
And who was the one before that?
Dustin Poirier, by submission.
Yep.
And Charles Oliveira was decision.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the fight where Charles Oliveira was on his back, and he just kept falling backwards and dropping him on his back. He stood up,
at Donald Trump,
bam,
and just boom.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now Paddy, okay, 22-3. He won his last two fights.
He's not yet lost
now,
in the UFC.
He has submitted King Green, and the other fight was decision against Tony Ferguson.
Did he knock out King Green, or did he submit?
He submitted him. That's what it says. Submitted King.
Oh, so that's the official decision.
Yes.
Did you see that fight where he was knocked out and being submitted?
I didn't, but you know what? I predict Paddy Pimblett's going to submit Michael Chandler. What's your thought process? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this real quick. Forgot to say Yar and Pitbull, negative 198 for Yar and plus 164 for Pitbull. And also now Michael Chandler, plus 124. Paddy, minus 148. That's what it is right now.
I am believing. I have a different belief than you. Because I love Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah.
Paddy Pimblett is one of my favorite fighters. I think he's funny and I love him and he's hilarious. But the people that he's fought are people who were good.
Kind of garbage.
Yeah. He looked really good against King Green.
You think it's gonna be a decision?
I think it'll either be Chandler by knockout or TKO decision.
You're gonna pick Chandler.
I'm gonna say Chandler, and here's why. Because did you see how Chandler did against Oliveira?
Yeah.
Did Oliveira submit him?
Makes a point.
Who's better at jiu-jitsu? You put Oliveira against Paddy Pimblett right now. Who's going to win? Who do you think?
I don't know.
Oliveira. All day long. Oliveira would murder Paddy Pimblett. So if Michael Chandler can stand 5 rounds, was it 5 rounds or 3?
It's 5. Wait, no, is it?
If Michael Chandler can stand that many rounds with
a jiu-jitsu guy,
with Oliveira of all people, do Bronx. And yes, he lost, but it did go to decision, not.
So you're saying Chandler is going to what? Knock out Paddy?
I think he's either going to knock him out or he's going to win by decision because Chandler is a better wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. He's a good grappler. He's not like a huge jiu-jitsu guy. He's a good grappler and he's a good puncher.
You take punches.
Here's another thing. Paddy has a wide stance and he keeps his hands low. And another thing that will happen is he's going to go in for the jab. And what's Chandler going to do? He's going to go for that overhand. If he goes for the overhand, he might knock him out. He's not been knocked out yet. But he's also not fought somebody at the caliber that Michael Chandler is. And Michael Chandler is the type of person that looks horrible. And yeah, he's not as good as the highest level. But he's still right there under him. And Paddy's not faced something like that yet.
Well, we'll find out this Saturday.
So I am going Chandler by either decision or TKO. Knockout.
Main card.
Alexander Volkanovski
versus Diego
Lopez.
Now, Alexander, 26-4. Lost his last 2 fights against one of the champions. Actually, Top, what's his name?
Topuria.
Yeah, Topuria, and then before that, Islam by knockout. Both by knockouts.
Also,
lost by knockouts to both of them.
Also, another thing. One person you don't pick in knockout mode in the UFC games is Islam Makhachev. He's a wrestler.
Yes.
But he knocked out
Alexander.
Volkanovski. I think that sadly, because Volkanovski he's a good one. Everyone likes him. He's getting on up there.
Now, if we go into the next one, Diego, 26-6, won in his last 2 fights against Brian Ortega and then Dan Ige by what?
Dan Ige.
Decision.
He won both of his fights by decision.
Yes.
I think.
Shit. Excuse my French. Alexander, -130. Diego, +110.
What are you going to say? What do you think?
I'm going to say Diego takes it. Don't know the method of victory at the moment. But I think Diego is going to take this one. Because everyone wants Alexander to win.
I think that...
This is Diego's time to shine. Okay?
I want to put my cowboy hat on right now and sing me some Johnny Cash. Give me Diego Lopez.
Yeah, it's his time to shine. Alexander's done.
Diego Lopez, one, he does have really good knockout power.
Yes.
And he's good on his back. Submission stuff. Like jiu-jitsu, all that. I've seen him submit someone before. I've seen him knock people out before. He's got that. What does Volkanovski have? Wrestling.
It is his time.
It's his time.
It's Diego's time.
Yep.
+110.
This is for the belt, too, because the belt's been vacated.
Is it?
I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote him on that.
Get Dana on the phone. I have a question.
Don't quote him on that. Seriously.
Yeah. Look it up. I want to be right. I don't want to lead the people astray.
You should lose the word. You heard me.
What'd you say?
Huh?
Say it say it with your chest. What's it say? Say, is it for the belt?
The fight for Alexander and Diego fight is for the vacate UFC featherweight title.
Yeah.
As that dude, whatever his name is, vacated his title to move up to lightweight. You know, Topuria, whatever.
See, this is the squid. Dwayne the Squid Johnson.
You sure? Is it an octopus or a squid?
It's octopus. Squid thing. It's your new host now. Russell, you just told me what you thought, right? It doesn't matter what you think. So we both are in agreement that it's going to be Diego Lopez. So let's go over it one more time.
So we have...
And give our parlay of the week that's totally going to hit. Put a gajillion $4 dollars on this parlay here.
So I got Dominic.
I'm probably not going to even put in on that myself.
Yeah, we got Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell.
Knockout TKO.
Mm-hmm.
We got Pitbull.
Yep.
He's got Chandler. I got Patty.
Chandler.
Yeah, and then the last one, Diego Lopez. We both got
That's the parlay to go with. And we've given you a good synopsis on why you should or shouldn't bet on who or who else on a couple of them. Now, we'll be back next week making excuses as to why we might have been wrong.
Yeah.
Or we'll be celebrating as to why we were right.
Celebrating.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're new here. And I'd like to thank all 2 of my subscribers that I have now. Is there anything else you'd like to go over, Ron?
Fireworks.
Oh, fireworks. There it is.
Anything else?
Maybe you had to point for the fireworks.
Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell.
Anyway, I have nothing else.
Arkansas.
I have nothing else.
Yeah. Follow me. I'm gonna post this video. It should be up today. Is Thursday, so you got 2 days to figure this stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be watching it. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Send it to your mother. She needs to see us. And look at our new setup from the last one.
Yeah.
I got the acoustic paneling back here. Okay, so the sound bounces off or something, and it just looks cooler back there. Yeah. Thank you for watching. God bless.